Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are at the ARM DevSummit, where we have a chance to meet one of the finalists of the Youth versus COVID Hackathon. The Youth versus COVID Hackathon took place in April-May 2020. The purpose of the hackathon was to have the views of the young people across the world speak about the problems and the challenges they experience in their communities and try and tackle those challenges using AI and data science. So today with me I have a team called Hopeful Home. They're based in the UK. They worked for 2 weeks to develop a solution to a challenge that we all are too familiar with, domestic violence. So team, I know you're here with me on the call. Whenever you're ready, I'm looking forward to hearing your pitch and your story.
Thank you, Elena. And we're going to start. My life depends on it, and I almost gave up.
My journey to hell and back began 12 years ago.
I felt like a dog on a chain and I couldn't get off it.
I look in the eyes of my baby girl. I know that she watched every bit. It helped to be able to see the truth.
Very few lucky individuals will be able to say they haven't felt like this before. These are just a few quotes from some domestic violence victims. With this lockdown, 30% of people just in the UK have experienced it and had much severe consequences, feeling like they are trapped and that they have no escape. I'm Dumbura.
I'm Meera Chokshi.
I'm Hana, Mohsin.
I'm Sarunathi, Thivyarajah.
We are a group of 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds who are from a Black and Asian ethnic minority backgrounds and who are here to make a change.
Some may call 2020 the year of revelation. Some may call it the year of destruction. But personally, in our cases, we would refer to it as an eye-opener to the gratitude that we should feel to be safe.
We all joined the Teens in AI Youth versus COVID Hackathon during our Easter break, mainly to learn some new skills and advance our knowledge on AI technology, since it's supposed to be a tremendous part of our future. As well as this, we realised how much of an issue domestic abuse was and how it was affecting the lives of so many people.
During the hackathon, we did drastic amounts of research about the topic to try and aid a solution to the rising number of cases of domestic violence. We were working with girls as young as 10 to women as old as 40, and realising the huge potential of our app to make a difference in the world, our team set out to make Hopeful Home a reality.
So I had actually done quite a few hackathons before, and I felt like this team of people could really be the best team that we could have going forward, because we all bring something completely different, whether that's coding skills, management skills, marketing and research skills, or design skills, but we all come together to make a really good team.
We worked to build and create an app from scratch, and we named it Hopeful Home, and we now have an MVP ready of it.
Our app contains multiple features that we built in ourselves. Hopeful Home looks and works like a calculator, but if found, it also functions as a calculator. It includes a Haven chatbot, and it's named Haven, which is a place of safety, a microphone which discreetly records whilst looking like a calculator, as well as a diary and immediate helplines so the victim can use them. We also have a disguise put on the app so that abusers cannot easily find the app on the victim's phone or device. And as well as that, it comes with UX design promoting a calm atmosphere and positive energy.
In our app, the education aspect also plays a massive role, as we believe that so many people don't know and can't help themselves because they are so unaware of the features and organisations that are actually available to them, especially people with children, as they may be too scared to leave their abuser for the sake of the child. We have put quotes and powerful messages to help support the victim, and we saw that our app could help, as it could allow those who are in homes to access help at any given time with their phone or device, as well as instructing them and signposting them to the correct phone numbers and websites. And we hope that this will work to reduce the numbers of domestic violence, as more people will be rightly informed to take correct actions to change their situations.
So as you can imagine, there were lots of ethical issues that we faced, and these included things like the data being given on the app not being correct, and a main one, which is the abuser actually finding out about the app. But for each one, we kind of took steps to combat it. So an example of this is for the chatbot, we have a 99% accuracy rate, which we actually did code ourselves to make sure we're always giving the correct information to the user, and the calculator disguising the app to make sure that the abuser can't find it. And the user can actually use all these features to help them in a dangerous situation, or even if they're not sure if they're actually being abused yet.
After we created the research and we actually started on the project of domestic violence, the hackathon was now just a mere platform on which we could display our ideas. Our thoughts were no longer to win the competition, and they were much more focused on turning our app into a reality.
Succeeding the hackathon, we were announced as part of the top 5 groups and granted the amazing opportunity of speaking here at the Summit. Much more user testing has gone into the idea of the app as well.
After creating a minimal viable product to ensure that Hopeful Home is useful and easy to use under stressful circumstances, we asked potential users from real victims and survivors to social workers from Westminster Council to test our app and comment. The feedback was positive, with the concept being useful and having huge potential. And with continuous user testing, we're implementing more features to help our users in as many ways as possible, such as multilinguality. We have carried out on building our website and constantly changing the design and adapting to the news and contents. We intend to carry out continuous user testing in the future, as domestic abuse is a forever changing issue which will be affecting people, causing Hopeful Home to adapt to the needs of our users.
With the help of our mentors, Ganesh Ramchandra, Elena Chauhan, Elena Sinel, Umi Jamil, and Mandy Sangera, we've received advice on business, design, and the political aspects of Hopeful Home. Hopeful Home has also been in contact with different members of the Barnardo's Phoenix Project who have validated it.
Hopeful Home is the app to make change. One example of this is just simply through our team. Our team is a diverse team full of women from a BA/ME background. And as you know, diverse teams create diverse solutions. Hopeful Home not only creates change, and incredible change for those suffering from domestic abuse, but it creates change for women and people of colour in tech. What makes Hopeful Home so unique is that it's not a one-app-fits-all solution. It accommodates people from different backgrounds, providing information that can specifically help them.
As well as culture, we have many other unique features that many apps don't have, including security, which we mentioned before, a tone analyzer, an AI chatbot, quotes and positivity for empowerment, signposting to specific communities, better accessibility, as well as a calming and serene UX design to make the users of the app feel welcome and appreciated.
To make our app as available to as many people as possible, Hopeful Home will be an app that's obviously free of charge. However, to continue to help our victims sustainably, Hopeful Home funding. After counting costs of securing the app, updates, legalities, the estimated cost of starting up and maintaining the Hopeful Home app will be around £75,000, which we achieve to receive from any grants or funds and partnerships. If there are any interested stakeholders, please do get in contact with us. From the £75,000, there will be many costs such as admins, technical, maintenance, marketing, legal costs, and then any miscellaneous costs as well.
In a few months, we hope to have our app running and functioning, as well as receiving a few of the grants so that we can do app testing, specifically in Redbridge, which is our local area. In 6 months to a year's time, we plan for the app to be circulated through England and have most of the funding to make it sustainable. And in roughly 2 to 3 years' time, we hope to see this app helping people all over the UK and hopefully planning to make it global, as well as being partnered with a corporate company to carry funds and costs and improving their social credibility as a company.
Another big long-term goal that we have for a few more years down the line is to have professionals on the other side of our chatbot haven, so that the victims can receive professional guidance. However, as there are more ethical concerns that go into this, along with much more funding, this is a goal for a few years onwards, and our success will be determined by the number of downloads of the app, completely free, as mentioned before.
Our team's learning throughout this entire process have actually been incredible. from the smallest design implements to the largest cost calculations, and we have thoroughly enjoyed every single process and have had help from such amazing people as well.
All done remotely, we were able to interact with a larger part of the world that we haven't even been able to do when remote working wasn't a thing. We've learned the importance of research, adapting to different strategies, how to interact with different people of various jobs and professionalisms, and not to mention obviously legalities and design implements such as color palettes and information structuring.
Not only does this help us as individuals, Not only does this help us as individuals, but this will also help in the future to have gained knowledge of so many skills at the young age of 15. We plan to implement these skills for the rest of our lives.
As all, making our passion project happen will require us to put in a lot of time, effort, and lots of understanding, all parts as part of the process, as well as learning a lot more as well. We immensely believe that we can make a difference if we have the correct guidance, support, and willpower to make a real change.
Hopeful Home is an app that will make change. Thank you for listening.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, team. Always a real pleasure to meet you and hear your story. But I want to ask you a few questions. So why in the first place did you decide to go with domestic violence when we've had lots of different other challenges on offer, like climate change, like education, you know, various other challenges for you to tackle, and this team has chosen domestic violence? What triggered that?
So when we were first introduced to the hackathon, we did have a list of 5 different categories that we could choose from. And we wanted, as well as learning new skills and doing everything like that, we wanted something that could actually stay with us for the rest of our lives and that we could actually help with. So nothing really hit us that hard, like it wasn't anything that we could really relate to. And then we started reading the news to find more ideas. And then domestic abuse had become very apparent in the news because victims couldn't leave their homes, they were having trouble finding help, all of that. So we found it very apparent, and it was very disturbing that the lockdown had all of these negative effects as well as trying to stop the coronavirus from spreading. So we found lots of touching stories, and then we looked back at ourselves and we really appreciated the positions that we were in safe homes. We could do our work on a day-to-day basis without being troubled by such issues. And so we wanted to help for others to feel the same way as well. So just instead of making it part of the hackathon, we also decided to go on and make it a passion project as well. And we got some amazing help that we're so grateful for, and that's really why we chose domestic violence, because it was more touching to us and we read all of the stories, and there was so much more heartbreaking to us compared to anything else that we could relate to.
Great. And what was the most challenging during the hackathon as a team? Did you experience any specific challenges, because this was a remote hackathon as well? What did you find most challenging about the hackathon itself?
Well, what was quite hard actually was kind of making sure everyone was on track and everyone was doing what they were supposed to do. Because as you know, we were working remotely, and it's not the same as working in person because you can communicate a lot better. You're with each other, you can look at each other's work and just physically help each other. But since we were all working remotely, it was just stuff like making sure that we all remembered that we were going to have a meeting at this time to start working, or things, just small things that can, if they happen a lot, they start to stop you progressing. I kind of felt like our team actually was very compatible and we worked together really, really well. Everyone was responsible for themselves and made sure they were at the right time doing the right thing, and make sure they come and report to each other, and make sure we're all communicating, because communication was something that was really important during the hackathon, as everyone knows.
And what do you think, what lessons do you think this hackathon is going to teach you in terms of the pandemic and the effects of the pandemic on education? How different is the hackathon to the traditional education, and are there any specific lessons you could take away from this experience? Hana?
Well, sorry, could you repeat that? You cut out a bit.
Sure. So the pandemic and education during pandemic. What lessons from the coronavirus pandemic will shape the future of education? And has this experience has this experience taught you anything specific that you could perhaps take with you moving forward in the education?
Well, there's been many more skills that I think everyone has learned, and they can be used during and after education. So, for example, people have just been a lot more independent, and like they've had to manage their time effectively, and just like learn to communicate with all the like difficulties that were going on. As well as this, people were able to adapt, and we're going to be able to like adapt to situations in the future. And now, because we've had an experience, we're going to have more backup plans and an idea of what we will do in the future. But there's also been like more advantages, such as like we're going to use more technology, and people are just used to using more technology now, which is extremely important since technology is predicted to be like a huge part of the future. And we've also just gained appreciation for the small things, like just working in a classroom together for students, and appreciation of just friends, being able to see your friends and communicate with them. Yeah.
Great. And this is a very diverse team. So let's talk about diversity for a little bit. What does diversity mean to each and every one of you? And why should we be concerned about diversity in technology space right now? Pearl, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I think that diversity is kind of like, you know, that saying, it's like giving people a seat at the table, right? But it's also, once they're at the table, it's allowing them to actually be a part of it and actually be able to put forward their ideas and kind of see some of their ideas being implemented if necessary, if they're like suitable. And I kind of feel like diversity is very important. Because if I give one example, there was a passport picture program that takes a picture for you, and you submit a picture and it goes to be your passport picture. So obviously they can accept or decline the picture that you send to them. So I think the passport scanner thingy declined someone's picture, but it was just because it wasn't programmed to recognize darker skin tones. So it was, I think they were told to stop smiling or something, but they weren't smiling. And it was just because that product was probably just made by not a very diverse team. So they weren't able to go around and make sure, okay, does this product fit, does it work on all different types of people? Because that's like, I think diversity is important, because especially now, because we are the future, we are the people that are going to be in the workplaces. So we need to make sure that products that we are creating are able to be used by everyone and not just missing out certain people. That's why I think diversity is important.
What about you, Sarunathi? What does diversity mean to you, and why is this important?
I think diversity, it brings people of different kinds together, and I think that's really important because different people have different opportunities and different experiences and different skills as well. And I think bringing that all together is what makes the best team, because you're going to have a lot of different views from different people, and that's what makes your product so much better. Mm-hmm. While just having everyone from the same race, you're just not going to get that mixed opinion and those mixed views and mixed input, and it's just not going to create a better product on that sense. Yeah.
And what about you, Hana?
I also agree, because people's opinions, because everyone thinks differently, and the more diverse a team is, the more opinions you can gather. So when you're coming together to create solutions like we were, and like many people are really realizing they need to do too. You can just come up with solutions that can solve a problem in ways you may not have thought could have been solved. Yeah.
Great. And Meera, do you have any specific examples where you felt technology went, got it wrong, and perhaps the problem indicated that the teams were not quite as diverse? Do you know of any specific examples, Meera?
I think I was going to say the one that Pearl said as well about the passport scanner and stuff like that. But I do think so diversity to me is obviously like appreciation of different changes and stuff. And I think during our personal journeys of trying to find a solution to domestic violence, we personally came across lots of examples of diversity and changes in our journeys. So when we were working together, we all had different ideas, and obviously our whole team is diverse as well. So we all thought and had different insights to different parts of the solution that others that didn't think about before. So me being a Gujarati Hindu, our community finds it more difficult to come out about domestic violence and stuff like that because of the way our families and things they're created and stuff like that, and the different upbringings and the different experiences that we have. So yeah, we were just able to implement different ideas into different social contexts to make the solution more able for everyone.
So how can we then make technology sector more diverse and representative of the societal makeup? Do you have any specific steps or recommendations for the industry, Meera?
I think for example, we start off with hackathons because that's like learning and everything like that. That's where it really begins. So I believe that you should, like you do, Elena, I think there should be different people, like different boys, different girls, different cultures, everyone in a team. You should try and make it more gender equal and different opportunities and stuff like that for everyone. I think also awareness of it is very important. Like in schools, there's people that come to do talks and everything, and the more people we can get it out to, the better. So obviously, because they'll find interest in it and there'll be more people applying. I think it's also important for the employers and the employees out in the workforce as well. So if you're an employer, you have to try and look for a passion of the employee rather than the name or the skin color or the race or the ethnicity, stuff like that. And as an employee, you just have to be able to empower. So you have to believe in yourself, and you need to believe that you're strong enough, because if you're a certain race and you already feel like your race is inferior, then it's not going to do you any justice when you go out and try and look for jobs. So we have to be the best that we can be, and we have to try hard and we have to persist to try and achieve what we want to achieve, and not let anyone think that we're inferior.
Definitely. And Pearl, I know you have a lot to add to this topic, and in particular I wanted to ask you, Pearl, how can we democratize access to technologies like AI, or in general? There are a lot of communities across the world who don't have access to some of the basics, Wi-Fi or laptops or whatnot. So we're talking about some really sophisticated technology here, but what should we do to make this technology accessible to everyone, not just to the very few who have got access already?
So I believe that to make sure that we can get like the tech more diverse, like in the future, I think that we should kind of zoom in on the younger generation and give them opportunities. So I think that people that are kind of less privileged, that don't really have access to all of these things that you were talking about, I think we should give them opportunities. And an example of this is, I didn't think, so I think in a lot of people from different backgrounds, they kind of have paths that they kind of fit into. So I thought like doctor, engineer, that kind of stuff. So I didn't think that tech could be, I didn't even consider tech. And however, I was given an opportunity to actually go to a workshop and these hackathons. And from there, I kind of discovered this could actually, this could be a career path for me. When I was given an opportunity, it allowed me to open doors for myself and now go on and explore the world of tech. So I think that if we give opportunities, like reaching out to the people that are watching giving opportunities to those that are less privileged. Stuff like holding hackathons, holding workshops to people that are not as privileged, and really just opening the doors of tech. And that will just be a very positive change, because from there we'll start to see better products, diverse teams, people in senior positions being more diverse. And just to add to that, Sinel Patel, who was the COO, or is the COO of PwC, was saying that she was talking about how there aren't actually people from BAME backgrounds to actually employ. So that's why I think it's so important to focus on the younger generations, because we need those people to be there to be able to be employed and get them into tech. So yeah.
Brilliant. And so, ladies, as you know, we are about to kick off our Ada Lovelace Hackathon to encourage more young women to embrace technology and to really understand how technology can tackle problems. So if you were in front of an audience of young women who have never heard of hackathons before, like perhaps you have been in the same situation before the COVID hack, what would you say to those young women who kind of, you know, have never heard of hackathons, don't know what it is? Why should they get involved? Meera, do you want to start? And we will go from you to Hana in that order.
I would say go for it. I'd say go for it strong, go for it hard. Because I remember when Pearl approached me about the hackathon, and she texted me the day before, and she was like, hey, there's this hackathon, do you want to go for it? And I asked my dad, and I was like, should I do it, should I not? And he was like, yeah, just go for it. So I started, and the journey has been so incredible. I never thought I'd never be here in this position that I was if I said no on that day. And it's those very impulsive and quick decisions that can change your life or change it for the better. And I think so much that I've learned so much. It's helped me in school a lot because we did coding, stuff like that. It's helped me in so many different ways. I've spoken to so many different people that, as we said in our pitch, I'd never even thought about speaking to if we weren't remotely working and stuff like that. So there's been so many different opportunities. I'd say go for it. You might like it, you might love it, you might hate it. At least you know that what you're going to do is going to give you a new experience, and you might find a career path out of it.
Amazing. And Sarunathi, what would you say to a group of girls who haven't made up their mind and they are not sure of?
I definitely agree with what Meera has said, and to just go for it, because it's definitely a new experience that I'm pretty sure many of them wouldn't have experienced before, because from that experience you develop so many different skills, and like it's given me a whole new viewpoint on technology and how it works, because before the hackathon existed I didn't know how to code in Swift, and I didn't know what went into developing an app and the whole process. But once going through it, and I can say that I did quite like the process because it was new to me, and it's just taught me different skills like time management and organization, things like that. And these skills are so fundamental for the future, especially when it comes to getting a job. So it's like it teaches you a lot of new skills and new opportunities, and yeah, it's really good.
And Pearl, what about you? What was your highlight, and why would anyone else do what you've done?
I think that joining hackathons, exactly what everyone else said, like literally there's so many positions you can be when it comes to hackathons. There's so many like roles that are available that you learn so much, and you get exposed to lots of different people. And it's honestly, I don't think I'll ever forget the hackathon, because from then on it was just kind of like a domino effect. Like the hackathon led me to do so many more different things, talk to so many different people, and it just has a positive effect. Even if you don't like tech, or you haven't done anything to do with tech before, I would just say go for it. Literally, just go for it.
And Hana, do you want to finish us off? And should schools be like hackathons?
Definitely. I really think they should be like hackathons. So in school, I think we're like spoon-fed. We just learn off a PowerPoint or listen to teachers talking, which is helpful, but I don't think it's as beneficial as hackathons are. In hackathons, we really work independently, but at the same time, you can ask for help when you need it. And it's just sort of like an active learning process. You can jump into whatever you want and learn literally anything.
Brilliant. Yeah. So last question then, before I let you all go, is what are you going to do to help deliver a better world? And what support do you need from us, the industry? So Hana, do you want to begin?
So I think we should really just take small opportunities and use them to inspire others. Like this one hackathon we did, we can now inspire others. Like we're now able to speak here, and we can inspire other young people. And you can just hold on. Let me start again. Okay, so you can. I think you should really take small opportunities, because hold on, can you repeat the question? My mind has just gone blank.
It's okay. Meera, do you wanna start, and then we'll come back to Hana? Yeah.
Okay.
Question, are you okay?
No, it's fine. Okay, so I think what we should do to try and deliver a better world and have different support is basically the little things. We have to start by creating Hopeful Home, which is our passion project. It all works in little steps, and obviously the fundings and the networks will all come in. But what we really need to do is take the opportunity. We need to grab the opportunities and appreciate all of the chances that we're getting, and we have to try and make a difference in whatever little way we can, whether it's like, well, not in these COVID times, but I would have said if it's holding the door for the person behind you or anything, just try and make a good difference to someone else and someone else's day. Try and make it.
Amazing. And Sarunathi, what about you?
I think in order to deliver a better world, you have to believe in everything, and that everything happens for a reason, because without believing it, you're not going to be able to get anywhere, because you're not really having faith in what you're doing, and that just makes it all pointless in a sense. So you really do have to believe that everything you do and everyone you meet all happens for a reason, and all helps you to be able to achieve what you want and to be able to make the world a better place. And we have met really inspiring people along the way, and we are so lucky for that, because that has also given us a guide to be able to see what we can do to improve the different things in the world.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, and Hana, what about you?
So I think we should really take small opportunities to share small ideas, because they can really have a big impact. And as well as that, we should all support each other in our projects. We've had a lot of help from our mentors, and without them, I think we wouldn't have gone as far as we did with Hopeful Home. And we've also just, like, when asking for user testing, every small opinion really did add up to the big picture. So I think you should take small opportunities and also try and help people whenever you can.
Great. And Mutsa, you will finish us off?
I think that we should, just one word, listen, because there are so many voices, there are so many people talking about the problems that are going on in the world. For example, there are a lot of youth talking about climate change. So what we can all do is listen to all of these problems and think to ourselves, come up with innovative solutions, like we did with Hopeful Home. We listened to victims of domestic abuse, heard their problems, and came together to create an innovative solution to help. And just to go back to Hopeful Home, we've done that, and now Hopeful Home is an app to make change. Hopeful Home can now go out and help so many people. And it just takes a few people with the same kind of mindset to create that change and really create a better world for all of us and for people in the future.
Amazing. Well, I am incredibly inspired by all four of you, and I am sure the audience has been inspired as well, because truly you are the role models and you are the future of tech. you will be designing and shaping the world of tomorrow. So I am so grateful you have joined me today, all four of you. And on this, we will end our session at the ARM Dev Summit. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I know they have. And I will be seeing you guys in future hackathons. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.